All right, welcome to DFIR simulation, the capture the flag activity. Our lab objectives are to perform a digital forensics investigation lab mission, perform a DFIR investigation as a capture the flag challenge, and find out the secret message left by the hacker on the machines. You are going to need a requirements are basic working knowledge of Windows 10 operating systems, baking sorry, basic working knowledge of DFIR investigation tools. You're going to need your virtual box, several DFIR tools. The extra lab files are your memdump.mem, pagefile.system, and hackerswindows.ova. So the first thing we are going to look at is you are investigating the computer of a hacker because police suspect he received sensitive information. This is a capture the flag challenge in which you'll need to find the flag at the end of the investigation. You are given the following files taken from a hacker's machine seized by the police: memdump.mem, pagefile.sys, hackerwindows.ova. So first question is, what does each file most likely represent? Well, memdump.mem, we know from previous classes that this is a dump of a memory file from a machine. Page file.sys, as the name suggests, this is probably the page file that contains additional memory stored in the drive, and then hackers, windows.ova, some type of virtual box machine packed in OVA format. So what they want us to do is, take a look at the Windows OVA, which I have booted up right here. This is the hackers window, and you see when we have started the VM, it is requesting a BitLocker machine. And as you see, if I go to type in something, let's try 1234, right? I get nothing. If I press escape, I get BitLocker recovery, but I do not have a recovery key, so I am out of luck. And this is what happens if you go to the BitLocker recovery. It is going to take me here. It's probably asking me to enter some type of recovery key, but yeah, I do not have any type of USB drive, so I am out of luck here. So I'm just going to go back into continue, and I'm back on my BitLocker screen here once this boots up. So I am not successful in logging on to this machine. So where do we go next? Well, um, question 3 asks you, where would you find the credentials needed to log on? Well, I think what we should do is use the BulkExtractor tool and the actual memory um, dump tool. So that's what we're going to do. I have my SIFT workstation right here. I'm going to make it fit in my capture window. There we go. Make it a little smaller here. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, here is my memory dump. It's about 9.1 gigs. So what I can do is I can actually extract this dump using the BulkExtractor tool from the command line interface. This file is located on my home Sans Forensic desktop. So let's go ahead and do that. So let me go to terminal, and I am going to run bulk. Well, first let's see where I am. I'm going to move to the desktop here, make it easier on us. And let's go ahead and do bulk extractor memdump.mem. I'm going to output this to a folder called DFIR. And this is going to take a second. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. When I get back, this will be extracted. All right, now back to the power of editing. We are now at about 99% and this thing is almost extracted. Okay, we're just waiting a couple more minutes. So let's see, all threads have finished. So let's see what we got. So we're going to navigate to our DFIR folder. Got a lot of files from that extraction here. And what they would like us to look at is the, let's see, they want us to look for the URL text, right? Some of the browsing history here. So let's take a look at cat URL dot text. All right. And we're looking here to see what we got. So just off the bat, I do see some interesting stuff here, right? We got some Google browsing history looking for some BitLocker stuff. That means that maybe this attacker was trying to look for some BitLocker stuff. We also have some um, search for BitLocker password. Look at that password, $W0RD. That might be something we want to note down. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down in my notes. That's $W0RD. Might be something, might be nothing, but the other thing that I find interesting is, look, they're searching how to paste bin something, right? We know paste bins where a lot of attackers put their dumps, so something else to take a look at. Here's some more password safe stuff here. We got some Google, and then we've got paste, how to hide paste bin, password, plus we got a little password here, ZAQ1Z, ZAQU1Z. So that might be a password. Let's go ahead and notate that one because I also see it in this next line right here. How do you hide the password? So it looks like they're trying to hide something in Pastebin with that password. So go ahead and notate that password. And again, that is ZAQ1, ZAQ1, and then ZAQ1. So 3 times. So I see BitLocker, I see password. You know what? Let's go ahead and see if this will give us something for our machine here that we imported. So let's try it. ZAQ1, ZAQ1, ZAQ1. You know what? It actually might be 4. I might have misread that, and it could be 4 ZAQ1. So let me try to add one more here, ZAQ1. There we go. Oh, so interesting. So the BitLocker password is ZAQ1, ZAQ1, ZAQ1. So 4 times. So let's go ahead and take a look at our Windows machine here. And let's see, we now have a new password here. So let's go ahead and just try to log on with that same password here, you know? Why not? And that got us in. So happy about that. So let's go ahead and since we're only seeing a part of the screen, let's go ahead and now that we know what our password is, I'm going to go ahead and install my guest additions here so we can get the goodness of the drag and drop and all that other good stuff here. And I'll be able to resize my screen and make it fit in my little capture window here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and reboot. So again, so far, what we did was we took our mem dump, we extracted it with the BulkExtractor tool. We discovered that they were actually had some browsing history here. And in that browsing history, we saw that they were trying to figure out how to hide passwords using pastebin. And the password that they were trying to hide was ZAQ1, 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 ZAQ1. All right, so now that I got my guest tools installed, I should be able to resize my resize my window here, make it fit in my little capture window here. So let's go ahead and do that. Just gotta move that here and move this within my capture window. All right, a little bit more. All right, so that should be good enough. So we're happy, so far. Let's just take a look at what we got on this computer. So we see we have an empty desktop. Let's take a look at what's installed on this thing. So let's just go to all apps here. Oracle VirtualBox, people, Windows accessories. Let's take a look at the scheduled tasks, see if there's any persistence mechanisms here. Task scheduler library. We got OneDrive, that is normal because this computer, yep, has OneDrive installed. That is perfectly normal. But nothing out of the ordinary here. Let's go to add, remove programs. I didn't see anything, but let's just go ahead and check it out again. Add, remove programs. See if anything was installed recently. Just a quick check here. So the only thing that was installed here was, let's see, OneDrive. Yep, that's part of Windows. And VirtualBox. Everything else is pretty much stock Windows. Guest Editions, that was me. So let's take a look at VirtualBox here. All right, so I got VirtualBox, but VirtualBox, there are no virtual machines, so that is interesting. There's nothing here, nothing here. I'm gonna press OK here, but yeah, no virtual machines to look at, and we know from our other classes that the virtual box machines are always, they're in the users menu. This computer was named Hacker. If you look at the virtual box, all I have is a virtual box certificate, but no actual virtual machines here. So what is suspect is that maybe there were some virtual machines in the past, but they are no longer here. Now, what tool can we use to actually recover stuff? Well, we can use the Autopsy program, if you can remember that from earlier. So let's go ahead and let's attempt to download Autopsy. So I'm going to go to Autopsy, then I'm going to click on download 64-bit. I'm going to let this finish. Looks like it's about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. When we get back, the file should be downloaded. All right, so our autopsy is giving us this error saying, it might not be safe, but we know it's safe. We're going to go ahead and run the installer here and click on more info, and then just click on run anyway. and go through the installer like you normally would. Yes to the here. Go ahead and minimize my web browser. And again, what we've seen so far is, yeah, it's weird. The only thing we have installed on this machine is VirtualBox, but there's no VMs. There's nothing in our recycling bin either. So it's pretty strange. So we're going to look at Autopsy, see if we can't figure out, has anything been removed in this environment. So I'm going to click on Finish here. And one thing to note is if we open up Autopsy, yeah, that's fine. It just says, this is normal. Yep, yep. I'm going to say allow access, allow access. Okay. Um, and if I go to new, whoops, allow access again. Okay. Let's see if there's any more. All right. So I would go to a new case, right? And I would create my case name, but I actually can't do anything in Autopsy. And the reason is if we look at our PC, see this right here? We have a little lock on here that says, hey, guess what? Your hard drive is encrypted. So we are not able to recover anything on an encrypted hard drive. So what we have to do is we actually have to disable our BitLocker on this computer, right? So we're going to right click on this, click on Manage BitLocker, and I'm going to turn off BitLocker. All right. As you walk through this, so you can see it takes a little bit of time. If you're just taking a long time, maybe you need to allocate some more resources to your VM. I think mine has 4 cores and maybe 8 gigs of RAM. Let's see what I'm working with on this machine. I think I had to up it actually. I am working with, yeah, 8 gigs and yeah, four cores right there. There we go, 4 cores. All right, about 60% through. We'll give it one more minute, and then we should be able to proceed back into Autopsy. All right, and we are almost done with this extraction. It probably took about 6, 7 minutes on my computer. All right, so we're happy. Our BitLocker is off finally. All right, so now we're still in Autopsy, and again, our goal right here is to try to figure out, hey, what's been modified, what's been removed on this computer. So I clicked on New Case. Let's go ahead and give it some information. We're going to call this one DFIR Simulation. And base directory would start with the root of drive C. Single user is fine. We're going to go ahead, click on next, and give it some information here. We're going to call it case number 1, and name's going to be, we'll call it a John Doe. And phone number is, we'll say what, 324495881. Email, we'll just say someone@gmail.com. And then notes, I'm going to say, yeah, nothing, none at this juncture. Okay. Going to go ahead and click on Finish. All right, got our database here. Scanning the C drive for everything. We're going to give it a second or two here. All right, we got our window um, that has appeared here. So basically it says, yeah, add data source, select host. So I'm going to say, let's see what I want. I got a couple options here. Select local disk. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to say, yeah, use the existing host. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Generate a new host name based on the current source name. That's fine. And for this one, I'm going to choose local disk. Click on next. And I've got a couple of different options for local disk unspecified. Let's see. And for my time zone, I can keep that as default here. And then for my next option, it says, let's see, make a VHD image. So I can do that. Let's see. Yep. I think everything looks good here. Local disk unspecified. Oh, select local disk. And I'm going to choose my virtual box right here. Oh wait, I don't want that one. Let's see, so choose local disk and then press OK. Well, I don't want my guest editions. I want my hard drive here. So let me go back here. There's my local disk there, drive C. Select disk. Well, that's interesting. Let me, oh, some disks were not detected. Requires admin privileges run as administrator. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and close this, and I'm going to run it as admin. And hopefully this time I'll get to actually choose my C drive here. So let's do that. New case. So we'll quickly run through this again. 001 base directory. Yeah, we'll call this number 001. And yep, looks good. Finish. Okay. Yep, click next here, local disk. Yep, looks good. And select disk. There we go. Now I've got my drive that I wanted here. So again, we're examining the C drive here. I'm gonna say okay. Drive 0 there looks good. All right, so I'm gonna click on next here, and it says, okay, what do you want to actually what are some of the good stuff that you actually want to try to recover here or investigate here? So I'm going to choose everything. So all this is stuff that Autopsy is going to try to investigate and parse out for me. So I'm going to say select all, and I'm going to click on next. This could take a couple minutes here, depending on the size of your data store. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and come back when this is complete. All right, that took a couple minutes, but we are back. So basically, our data source has been added to the local database. Files are being analyzed. So we are happy here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Finish. And now, see at the bottom right here, it says it's going to analyze files from physical drive. So of course, we are playing the waiting game again. So I'm going to pause and come back when this is finished. A lot of pausing today. All right, so we see that the Um, the autopsy is still analyzing files, which is good. But one thing that we want to pay attention to is we know that when we were first looking at that bulk extractor, we saw some funky stuff in the browsing history. So autopsy is really cool because you can actually see web history of what the user was looking at while they were browsing. And as you start to look at the web history for artifacts, you see, this is normal stuff when the computer starts, you see it looks like they had a PDF on their desktop, and then you got the start page for Microsoft Edge, Bing. They are looking at Autopsy. That again, some of that's me. Um, but what is interesting is you've got some Dropbox links right here. Here's one. Here's the Dropbox links. NOYB. That stands for none of your business, but something worth investigating here. And the other one is Google Drive. So both of these are cloud storage files. So again, stuff that we want to take a look at. So um, what we can do is let's just take a look at the Dropbox link first. So I should be able to um, take a look at this one right here, and I'm going to attempt to navigate to that location. So let me copy this, and I'm going to, hopefully my copy and paste works. So let's go ahead and open up a browser. Let's open up Edge here, and let's make a new tab here. Let's try to go to that Dropbox link there. So the first one we go to is Dropbox. It says file deleted at the top. That tends to happen, right? Um, but we got some other links to check out. Let's take a look at the Google Drive link. We got two links here. We'll try each one here since the Dropbox was a bust. So the first one, we'll take a look at this one. Let's do copy this one. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste that in here. And let's see what this takes us to. Ooh, this time we actually have a NOYB file. Interesting. So we see what our attacker was doing on this image. So let's go ahead and see if we can get any more information from here. Let's see, NOYB, nothing else there. All right, then we got a download link. Yep, everything there looks good. So let's go ahead, and it says could not preview the file, um, but you should be able to, possibly download the file. Let's try that. Let's go to download, and it says, hey, this file is 8.1 gigabytes. Do you want to download it? We're going to go ahead and download the file. So we're going to go ahead, let this download in the background. I'm going to pause it, and when we get back, the file should be downloaded. All right, well, we have the download, still going for the NYOB thing. One thing that we do see is that the IP address where this file was getting, we've got some IP address of 192.160.0.105, and look, there's that funky leak port again, right? Anytime we see that, we definitely know we're onto something. So again, add that IP address to your artifacts. It looks funny, right? If it just doesn't look right, well, boss used to say, go ahead and add that to your notes there. So I'm just dictating down, jotting down the IP address .105 along with the port 1337. Like I said, kind of kind of funny there, but yeah, the NYOB, it's a pretty big file, so it will take a couple minutes to download. So you might want to get some coffee, which is fine. Um, but while that is going, we can um, look for the NYOB extension. And what's cool in Autopsy is if you expand the file types, right? And if you look at the extension, this is parsing everything that was on the right hard drive. And at first glance here, we don't see anything with the NYOB extension. So we're just going to let the file keep on downloading in the background. We'll check back when it's done. All right, so we see that our extraction is now 100% complete, and we've gone ahead and we've downloaded the none of your business NOYB file here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this file and see what we got. Ooh, look like this is an open virtual uh, format and OVA file. So we know what that means. That means that this is an OVA file. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and extract it. And we'll go ahead and do that now. Let me go ahead and go back to our downloads here. I'm just going to say extract all. That's fine. All right, I'm going to let that extract and I'll see you when this is done. And we're going to go ahead import this into VirtualBox. See you in a few. All right, as you can see, I now have the NYOB VM up and running. This is from the OVA that we just imported from that Google Drive link. I just imported the OVA. And now that we have it booted up, first thing that stands out is this right here, totally not a secret note. Um, and if I go to open this file, let's try Notepad. Totally not a secret note.text and a whole bunch of gibberish. I'm not even sure what this. Let's take a look at the file here. It's 4 kilobits. Yeah, I don't know what this file is, but I'm guessing they want us to investigate that. So that's what we are going to go ahead and do here. So let's see. Let's see. So to open the file, we need to know what the file type is. There is no extension here. So what type of file is it? Well, we have a couple of options. We can brute force the file for a well-known file type. This method will take a long time without any guarantee that the file type will be found. Another technique is to use an online tool, but the investigation is classified and online tools may compromise investigation details. Another way to examine um, the file's extension is to use the HXD tool. So we're going to open up HXD and drag and drop the totally not a secret file onto it. So I don't think I have it on this machine, but what we can do is if this has internet connection, we can install the HXD tool onto here. So let's try that first. Let's do HXD tool. There we go. HXD, we want to, here we go, Windows 10 version download page. Let's get the English version. Download HTTPS. Let's see if it's doing anything. Downloads, nothing. There it is. HXD Setup. Oh, here we go. So there is the application here. It's taking its sweet time. This computer's slow. Let's try this again. Open. Looks like it's still doing its thing. Let's check Task Manager, check out the resources on this machine. See if it's being pegged or not. There we go, HXD Setup. Yes, and I'm going to say English. Next, accept. Next, install quick launch shortcut, sure. And we're going to launch the HXD editor. All right, cool. So we should be able to drag and drop our file onto here. So let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to say boop, bop. Okay. So we got some file headers here. We looked at this in some of our other labs, but we're going to examine the first 4 bytes of our file. So we see we've got 54B0304. Now, in case you forgot what the signature is, we can actually figure out what type of file this is. So we're going to go back to Edge and we're going to open up Wikipedia here. Let's go to list of file signatures, and we're going to take a look at them here. And we're just going to search for the 50, right? The same one that we saw before. Scroll down. We might do a control F here if I don't see it in a second. Let's do a control F and search 5048. Make sure I had that. Make sure I got the right thing here. Maybe 4B. Yep, 4B. Look at that. Back here, control F 504B. Here we go. We see this is a zip format here. So now that we have that information, we should be able to go back to our desktop. There we go. And we're going to add the zip extension. I'm going to try to do it like this, just typing in .zip. There we go. Our icon changed. And now let's see if we can't extract this. Let's go to extract all. Desktop looks good. And we got a password. So now we need to figure out what the password is. So we need to think of locations that may include a password in a log file. So what we should do is one of the cool things that we can do is take a look at the browser history tool. We're looking at this one because oftentimes we might see web passwords in a browser from a safe search. Oftentimes, if you're dealing with the zip and the zip is encrypted, many people are trying to open up the same file. So the browsing history tool can also, give us some pretty good information about, hey, what's going on with this computer? And since this came from an image from that other extraction, hey, it's fair game here. So let's go ahead and take a look at browsing history view tool. Should take us to the NERSoft site. And let's look for that download location. I think it's at the bottom of the file here, bottom of the page, I mean, here. All the way at the bottom. Yes, there we go. Download browsing history view. Let's get the 64-bit. All right, let's check our downloads. There it is, browsing history view. Let's go to open folder. And let's extract. Yep, that looks good. All right, we got browsing history view. Let's go ahead and run it as an admin. Let's say yes. And now that I got browsing history view here, let's go ahead and we'll say, yeah, search the last 10 days. Let's see what we can get from 10 days. Press OK here. And see if we get anything here. We may get something here. Worth a shot. If not, we can try some other web pages here. Let's see. So on this VM, we have nothing. This is just basic information here. So this guest VM, the one that we imported, didn't have anything, but let's try the same thing on the Hackers Windows Clone VM. So let's go ahead and get the browsing history tool off of this one. We're going to try the same thing. Browsing history view. And scroll down to the downloads. See if we have any better luck with this one. I'm going to go ahead and go to open, browsing history view. Whoops, I got extract all. It's fine. Yep, extract all. Now I can view it. Let me run as admin. Yes. And try this again. All right, let's see what we got. All right, we're looking for passwords, right? So let's see what we can see in here. Let's see, we got some ads here, some more ads, some Google APIs, and I'm looking. There's some Dropbox stuff here, some autopsy stuff here. Still looking. Got some Google browsing history. Google. Yeah, let's try this. Let's see if I can find some Google stuff on here. Let's try www.google.com. And let's find next. So nothing there, nothing there. Looks like it was only a couple pages there. So nothing is standing out yet. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, we're looking at all the browsers here, Chrome history. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing here. Let's see. All right, so let's go back. Let's see. So didn't see anything on browsing history view, but let's go ahead and try this one more time. Let's take a look at Chrome here. And we'll go to history and history. And this is interesting. We got some different language. That's interesting. We got the NSA, National Security Agency. It's paste bin, VirtualBox, and look right here. Is hacker something password safe? Let's do a quick search here and copy this one. And let's see. Looks like that was our file. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this file and see what it is. Once we open it up, it says, this is the rebellion. We will meet this Saturday at noon outside the main gates of the central station. We will identify you by the passphrase, nice weather we're having today, with this ASCII art. That one looks like a grenade or a bomb or something. And that is the end of the flag. Thanks for playing. I hope you learned a lot, and we'll see you in the next class.